and because, you know, they are on sister teams, so I'm sure that the Gragas play is strong. But Goong really making a mark in terms of his decision-making about when and how to use explosive cast, whereas Nagne, he's a much more flashy player. He's the one who's going to be doing the body slam flashes, deep under turrets, like very different styles of Gragas play coming out of these two teammates.
Methodical versus bloodthirsty. The age-old question of what style of player are you? Well, and there we go. So Nidalee, Lee Sin, Orianna, at least the first bans.
And Zed actually coming down from the Jin Air Stealth, so Hoon must not be very comfortable with that Zed pick himself, and that will give NaJin White Shield a little more leeway in terms of their bans on that red side. And Kassadin will be the choice again for them.
And first pick Poppy on the way. Mark my words. No, well, it was a Yordle. I was close. I was close, right?
Right ballpark.
That's right.
At least.
Same height.
Same height. And Corki, no surprise at all.
Yep.
And they don't have to take that Ezreal early this time around. The red side, pickups for NaJin Shield. They are deliberating long and hard about this. They do have that option to go for the Gragas again. Orianna banned this time around.
Yeah. And, all right, well, Nofe is going to be playing Jarvan once again, but they are going to pick up the Ezreal early on. So, interesting, but maybe not wanting to tip their hand as far as what they've got in mind yet. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, the Zyra would make a lot of sense. And again, doesn't show a whole lot about what they want to do.
Yeah, very similar to last game so far for both of these teams. And they did a really good job of not really counterpicking the matchup in terms of Shen versus Renekton, but building Renekton with that fast Tiamat in order to prevent Shen from really having any kind of effect on the game last time around. So it wouldn't surprise me to see NaJin White Shield saving up that last pick to counter the top lane one more time to see if the Jin Air Stealths want to pick up that Shen, because he's still open and available this game.
And will we see a Thresh out of Ice Bear? Something a little bit more aggressive this time around, possibly. Trying to make some plays in lane, we'll see. And there's the Amumu from Mumu, maybe.
Yeah, Mumu.
The Amumu.
Yes, the Mumu.
Amumu. Yes.
And of course, that's probably why he has that name, is because he is an Amumu player. But that said, that tips your hand awfully early to the fact that you really want to go for a 5v5 composition. And knowing that the Ahri is an absolutely appropriate pick for some, create a little pick comp right there, try and catch people in the brush and 100 to 0 them before you get into that 5v5, and Graves would be pretty...
You know, we saw top lane Corki yesterday, actually.
We did. Could be a mid lane Corki as well. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but...
Graves Thresh is a really scary brawling lane, too, but looks like it's going to be the Gragas pick instead for Hoon.
Yeah, a bit more reasonable right there. Aatrox coming in for the jungle as well, and yes, they will be counterpicking that top lane once again. And wow,
Jace, cool.
So we've got, really in this case, it's going to be a strong siege composition, and they're going to be using the Amumu for disengage, actually. So that was they didn't show their hand too early. As a matter of fact, they're going for the Rocket and Jace, and there's the Jax pick. So the answer to the siege composition is that NaJin White Shield simply wants to split push here. And create picks. So this will be interesting. We have seen the Nidalee bans coming in a lot so far here in WCG, and the reason is because that siege comp is very popular again. And the reason is we have the rise of the Trinity Force carries once more, and that gives you a lot of poke potential. And with that, you can kind of double down with champions like Nidalee. And you were theorizing yesterday, Doa, that we might see the return of Jace for that very same reason. And
yeah, we were talking about this, weren't we?
Yeah, Gragas and Nidalee both strong right now, and you suggested that Jace might come back, and that's exactly what we're seeing here today.
That's right.
Is that the Jace has returned in lieu of that Nidalee.
He's got the poke.
He does. So a hugely strong poke composition coming out of the Jin Air Stealths, and NaJin White Shield says, well, we're just going to avoid it entirely in as much as we can and try and split push you and create those picks as you rotate from lane to lane in order to set up your sieges.
Well, we'll see what happens here. Jin Air Stealths trying to come back and tie it up. Can they do it? force that game 3. We're about to find out, guys. The game is loading. It's time. Will Shield 2-0, or will we have a tie series after game number 2? Let's get in the game. All right, here we go, guys. Game number 2, Jin Air Stealths versus NaJin White Shield here on OGN, WCG Korea National Finals. And uh-oh, Nofe. They do discover Trace, and they're going to invade there. Hoon. He's going to be able to poke them a little bit. But again, a really aggressive invade coming in from NaJin White Shield.
Yeah, I like these aggressive wards that we're seeing from NaJin White Shield. We didn't really see a lot of this at the World Championships. A lot of teams really reluctant to put themselves in a dangerous situation at level 1. And the Jin Air Stealths all piled into that brush right there. They should know they have a 4v5 if they see this next wave of champions come out. And they're not going to do anything with it, at least for the moment.
Too bad. I love level 1 fights.
Well, it may not be over yet.
Oh, Hoon. Yeah, getting jumped on, a little bit of damage put onto him. Oh, they get him with the root as well. Has to use his flash. That's really big that they got that early. He is going to be extremely vulnerable in lane now.
Yeah.
And Zephyr taking some damage as well. Uh-oh. Hoon's not looking too happy about that one.
Well, he got caught on the opposite side from his base right there, and some nice play to set that one up by NaJin White Shield. And that's going to be a pretty big advantage for Goong heading into the laning phase. Wow, Mumu starting red. This is also something you don't typically see.
It makes me wonder if we're going to see him try to do some sort of gank early on. Every once in a while you see an aggressive early Mumu, but it's pretty rare. But then again, I mean, if you name yourself after a champion, you're probably pretty well versed in like all the ways you can possibly play it. So,
well, we're like I said earlier during the picks and bans phase, they are going to be using Amumu a little bit differently this time around, primarily as a counter engager and a disengager for their poke composition.
Yeah, I mean, getting red first, I suppose, also is a little bit of insurance in case Nofe wanted to do some sort of aggressive jungle attack or something like that, going into the jungle to try to punish Amumu.
Both players heading for their own blues right now.
Yeah.
Nofe does have eyes on Mumu, who opens up with a smite that time. And so he'll be picking this up just as he runs out of mana.
Yep. Very nice. All right, so Trace heading back up into that top lane. Does have the Vision Ward and a health pot. Zeph and Gorilla just building up that minion wave, and it looks like we will have a 2v2 in the bot lane after all.
Yeah, if you're the Jin Air Stealths, you definitely want that 1v1 versus the Jax. You want to harass him out of lane as much as possible because both champions are going to get pushed in anyway, and Jax is decent at farming under turret. And so you want to use that range advantage up in that top lane to make sure that you can poke down that Jax nice and early and prevent him from getting big.
Yep. And Mumu's still doing some farming here. Nofe waiting for him. Seeing if he can maybe catch him. I mean, with that Doran's Blade start, Aatrox is pretty scary. Jungle versus jungle.
All right, well, they did get the reverse push now, so Mystic coming up. Zephyr returning to lane in the nick of time with just another Doran's Blade to his name. Nofe.
He's got to be careful here. If he uses that, if he uses that body slam, and he's in trouble now. Hoon trying to body slam over the wall. Creative route, but there's the slow. There's the charm. Hoon in big trouble. There's the ignite. Yeah, he's not going to make it out of that one. Hoon just having a really tough day. It's not a good day for Hoon this time.
Hoon's a rough day.
Hoon's a rough day.
Well, that said, that was also just a very good use. Again, we see NaJin Shield doing every little thing right in terms of maximizing their gains. And again, after getting that flash early, they take that advantage to put Hoon in an extremely uncomfortable situation where he pretty much had no choice but to die.
Yeah.
Or just not farm. I mean, he didn't have vision there yet, but he hadn't actually recalled to purchase a ward. So that's just one of those situations where you wish you hadn't used that flash at level 1, because that's exactly what it's for before you have that vision in case you get ganked. And it's not really Hoon's fault right there either, because he either has a choice of playing so scared that he never farms or to just die. So it's worth the risk in some ways, but just another nice, intelligent decision by NoFe.
Yep. So far, Mumu just trying to continue to farm. Hasn't been able to quite have any sort of impact yet in the game.
Well, Save 2 getting a pretty substantial CS lead, which is a bit of a surprise. But he did have some time up there alone in the top lane while the Stealths made the lane swap.
Yeah.
And here we go again.
Here we go, NoFe.
NoFe coming over the Dragon Pit.
Yep.
Waiting for that cooldown on Dark Flight. No wards in the Tri-Brush.
That's right. And we'll see. We'll see if they try to bait a fight. And Hoon thinking about coming down. They know something's on the way, or do they? Mystic. There we go. There's the Lantern. He's going to get out. No problem. Ice Bear with really good positioning. They had a feeling something was going on.
Yeah, the lane from NaJin Shield telegraphed that a little bit too much. And
yeah.
Ice Bear had a good read on it.
Yep.
Drops back just to be extra safe.
Ready to throw that Lantern out there. Didn't even need the Valkyrie.
Well, Goong's going to have a really substantial advantage now. And will be getting a pretty darn quick Deathfire grasp this game. You can see his farming already going well, in addition to picking up that first blood.
Yep. We talked about the CS lead earlier that Save had against Trace. If you look at it now, it's gotten a lot closer just in the last 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, that's what having Jace will do for you.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, Mumu and Gragas both at level 6. The Jin Air Stealth, but Ari does have her Spirit Rush on the other side. Save with his ultimate as well.
Yeah, interestingly, NoFe doing the same build that we saw out of Daydream, the double Doran's boot start.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Hoon has a nice roam going on right here.
There we go. Yeah, they're trying to get the flash. There's a slow. They pop the passive. Trace still alive. Save goes down to Hoon, and Hoon picks up the double kill. Oh, man, what a nice counter gank. That'll turn things around for the Jin Air Stealths.
Yeah, and not only that, but that was showed a flaw at least. Wow, Zephyr!
Oh, Zephyr getting pulled in. Arcane shifts away, but a close call for him.
Yeah, that was a bit of a misread right there. The first one that we've really seen in this series so far, as they didn't respect the roam from Gragas. And Hoon, to his credit too, after he got behind in lane, you'll notice he tried to make a play on that bot lane, and then he tried to make a play at that top lane. So some heavy roaming, 2 roam attempts already from Hoon, as he knew he was behind and needed to make a play in order to have something happen right there. And
he certainly did make a play.
Yeah, getting that double kill puts him right back into the action. Very nice from the captain here of the Jin Air Stealths.
Hoon's suddenly having a good day again.
You can't have a bad day, apparently.
Hoon's bad day that got better. Moon's mediocre day, I guess.
Well, it also is just going to prevent NoFe from diving again because they pop the passive as well. So, huge win for the Jin Air Stealths.
Totally.
And it's Doran's Blade Fever on the side of NaJin White Shield, everybody.
Wow. Yeah, 6 blades.
Grabbing a couple.
WTF 6 Doran's blades? Doran's going to run out of blades, man. We're going to have to start handing out like Doran's fork or something soon.
He can't forge them that fast.
I guess so. It's popular blades.
I can see Jason a little bit. I'm interested to see how he's going to do up in this top lane. Obviously can't charge that tier as fast any longer. Mumu coming over to hand over the blue buff to Hoon.
Yep. Golem just hitting the trees in futility.
Oh,
he's just giving up on life. Oh, did he get it?
Buff,
oh.
Yes.
Oh.
That's a bit of a bummer.
Mumu report.
It's okay. Hoon has Chalice. It's not the end of the world for him. He won't have any trouble getting his mana back, especially with the W from Gragas as well. And Mumu hasn't been able to really affect much of the map so far. Not like he's had to, though. Hoon doing plenty of that himself.
Yeah. So far, Hoon's the best jungler on this team.
He's at least the best ganker. I mean, Mumu's been doing a good job of killing junglers. Wow.
Yeah.
Still no ward in Tri-Brush in spite of the fact that this already happened. Not even going to wait for that Dark Flight to come up this time.
They're going to come in, and there's the Lantern again, just trying to push him out of lane. Just making the presence felt. Just wants that lane pushed in the NaJin White Shield's favor.
Yeah, using that really just to get a more forward ward down there
in
the lane brush.
much. Meanwhile, the top lane fight continues. Trace has pulled a CS lead now on save.
Yeah, that's to be expected, though.
Yep, he's got that range. Pretty nice.
Oh, nice steal there from Goong.
Yeah.
Taking the big Wraith away. Good read. Onto where Gragas had gone.
Yep. Zephyr taking some hits. Looks like they're going to rotate over for Dragon. Possibly here. Thinking about it.
And they'll see how
they're trying to actually make NaJin White Shield think that's what's going on, because
they don't have any vision there.
Yeah,
right
they
now.
can't see it. So all they saw is Mystic disappearing into River with that dark passage. Well, they see him back in lane now, but it has to be a bit alarming for NaJin White Shield right now.
Yeah, they may also have backed off because Save had shoved the lane up and then he immediately left, so there was a possibility that Jax was going to show up at that Dragon fight, so may not have been worth the risk right there.
Oh, they do catch Mystic, a little bit of damage onto that. That Yordle. Oh, Mumu.
NaJin White Shield's not going to all in unless they know where Mumu is.
Yeah.
And with no wards in the river and very few wards on the map in general.
Right.
Now, Mumu is level 7. He could come in here. They're going to try and dive this.
There we go. Flash into the ultimate. And he's going to wait, save that bandage shot. Zephyr cleanses that immediately. Box goes down. They get the kill onto Gorilla.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, man.
Nice lantern pull to get Mumu out of there. Good dive.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, you don't want to run to Goon.
Now, they have plenty of wards there. That was a very nicely set up gank for the Stealths. And the Stealths already showing a lot more control this game than they had last time around.
Yeah, really recovering nicely from that pretty massive loss in game number 1. I like it. Oh,
he's just trying to shove the lane. Get some damage on this turret.
Yep.
And there we go. True shot barrage. Coming through the middle.
Yep, he's hanging out. And a pretty even game overall. In fact, a little bit of a lead for the Jin Air Stealths. And, you know, we kind of, we came into this expecting it was going to be a close best of 3, and after game number 1, we were kind of revising our views on that one. But now, I mean, I don't know.
Well, here's the issue, though. With the team compositions, the Jin Air Stealths, they need to get themselves into a position to start sieging, and we probably will see that in the next 3 minutes or so.
Yep.
And once they can get into that level of readiness, they'll look pretty good. That said, if this game goes late and the NaJin Shield split push comes into effect, the Stealths are going to have a lot of trouble dealing with that. There's pretty much, they don't have any tool to stop Jax.
Yeah.
Like, none. Literally none. There is nobody on this team who's going to be able to 1v1 him. So the longer this laning phase goes on, the longer it takes the Stealths to group up, the better it's going to be for NaJin Shield here.
Yep. The best thing they can do against Jax is have a really good early game, and it's been good, but...
Yeah, Save has done a good job in lane so far. He keeps falling further behind in CS, but with that harass from Jace, again, that is to be expected that this Jax would be a little bit behind right there, but he's still doing A-okay.
Yep. Got the old school Jace build going with Manamune.
Early pressure here from Mumu.
Yeah, he's coming right in, wants to take that blue buff. He's got backup too. They're going to give that one over to Hoon.
Yeah, they actually didn't know where Trace was right there, and they assumed this is going to be a blue steel transitioning into a dragon.
Yeah.
Because Trace had been out of lane for such a long time. In fact, he was just putting down a deep vision ward.
Yep.
And it's going to be that dragon anyway. Will they react right here? It looks like no.
They have no vision on it. It's really tough for them to really even know what's going on. They can make that assumption.
Yeah, they know what's going on. As soon as they saw them doing the blue invade and they didn't know where Trace was, it was a big red flag to them that there would be something going here. But I don't really think that this is too much of a concern for NaJin Shield, because they know it's all about that split pushing Jax, and if they can just get to that phase of the game without taking too many risks in a dangerous situation against the Mumu with Curse of the Sad Mummy and Hoon with that kind of wombo combo of disruption after that ability goes down, it's just not worth it, because they have the better pick composition. There's a really squishy back line that they can abuse and catch all over the map. They basically have 3 targets to create, well, 4 really if you consider Ice Bear, to create picks on, and they only have to really worry about the tankiness from Mumu. So, that said, they've got the champions to create these picks. They have the Deathfire Grasp already down onto Goong, and they have the major split pushing threat in save. So why not just let the Dragon go?
Yeah.
Don't take a risk right there. Let him have the gold. Play for that late game. The longer you can stay in these lanes, the better off you're going to be. Dragon doesn't hurt. The only thing that NaJin Shield has to worry about right now is the stealth grouping and really actively pushing those towers, which they haven't shown any movement on yet.
Yeah, still just a bit passive. We'll see. All right, Mumu coming down into the river again. Oh, they do have that seed, but they don't quite see him. Oh, he's going to back off anyway, so it doesn't matter because Goong pushing up really far in that mid lane. They may try to go in on him. Spirit Rush is available. Nofe, meanwhile, waiting in that Tri-Brush. There we go. They're going to go on to him. There's the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Lock him up, and Goong just gets evaporated by Hoon. Wow, there's some sweet revenge for you. And Nofe coming down. He's in the ward right now. Whoa. Esper trying to grab him.
Well, right there, too, something subtle that people may not have noticed this game is that Save is containing Trace by pushing. Again, he's doing something very similar to what he did last game, which is constantly autoing the waves. And it is losing him a little bit of CS because he's shoving it into, like, basically into turret consistently. But it's also pinning Trace into that top lane again because he knows that the team composition is going to be going for that big-time poke, that big-time siege. And as long as he can keep Trace up in that top lane, there's not really a threat of that happening. Yeah. Although with the mid-turret down now, that is going to open up a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, Hoon did get that first turret of the game for Jin Air Stealth, and now he's rotating up to top. They're going to see if they can maybe jump onto Save, but Save knows what's up. Heading back to the turret, got the Counter-Strike activated. Actually did it with Hoon still under turret. A little bit of a cute move by Save, but the main point is that he lived. Saved himself.
Yeah, and in order to keep up his CS2, Save has been just constantly doing those golems the entire game.
And there's the ultimate from Nofe coming in. Going to knock up Mumu. He's not going to live through this one. Or is he actually? Nope, he's not. Nofe, oh, there's a passive activated by Hoon. Doesn't quite have the burst to try to finish him off, but does save the turret.
Well, that's an important pickup right there, though, because that's the only tanky threat, and now they can pretty much just all-in anybody on this Jin Air Stealth team.
Oh, speaking of all-ins, Mystic getting all-in by Nofe and Gorilla. Mystic popping that berry, trying to get away, but it's not enough. Zephyr with the kill in the bot lane. Nice move by Shield to punish
events as well.
Yeah.
Goong also picking up the Negatron Cloak to deal with some of the burst coming out of Gragas. And that'll help out his teammates a little bit as well.
Yep, he can turn that into an Abyssal Scepter later on if he wants to.
And here we go. Save really starting to ramp up now. Getting that Trinity Force. Sold one of his Doran's Blades for it, but he's still going to be just fine.
Yeah, now
and
that
this is where it starts to get very scary for Tracy. Trace has purchased the Ninja Tabby to deal with Jax's auto attacks.
He's got the Brutalizer too, so I mean he's going to be putting out decent damage, but
well,
if Save gets onto him, it's not. Yeah, it's still not going to help too much. For now, though, Chase power slamming his way back in the lane.
Yeah, I missed Korean Jace. Power slam.
Power slam. Yep. He says it with such feeling.
I'm sure you guys will hear it later. We just haven't been watching that lane very much because it's just been minion pushing
we'll hear it
and
in a
not
team
a lot
fight.
of action.
We'll hear it over and over again in a team fight.
Speaking of action, Nofe moving up there right now. They do pink ward the try. He is concerned about the possible tower dive gank coming in from Aatrox.
He should be. All right, Mystic's just going to be content pushing up that bot lane, but Zeph is going to do his best to stop that. And they may decide to dive Zephyr here. Gorilla just got back to lane. They are going to dive him here. Nofe, there we go. Arcane Shift has to end up using that cleanse. Anyway, they do get the knockup from the Zyra ultimate onto Mumu. This gank did not work out at all for the Jin Air Stealth. Whoa, Mystic coming in with the Valkyrie, trying to get the kill onto Gorilla. Didn't end up working. Zephyr still in the fight. Mystic goes down. Ice Bear still alive. Now Nofe coming in from behind. Gorilla gets taken out. Oh, nearly a double kill for Mumu, but it doesn't work out. Instead, Zephyr gets that last one. Hoon coming in with the cleanup, but now he's going to 1v1 against Goong. Goong missing that charm, going to go in onto Hoon anyway. Remember, Goong does have that Negatron glove, so he's going to be a little bit better with the duel. What a crazy
And
fight.
meanwhile, in the top lane, Save managed to take out Trace and the tower at the same time, so all-ins across the map here in a very exciting series of events. And with this, too, the tower going down, we're nearly tied up in terms of gold.
Yeah, the shield just blew this game
and that
wide
was
open.
That was a crazy play from Zephyr right there, too. He managed to get a double kill. So here's what happened in the top lane. Save coming in. Trace tries to get in. He knocks him back, but Save. Ooh. Oh, Trace.
Really?
Oh, that was just a huge mistake by Trace right there. And
that was sad.
Yeah. That was sad.
That was sad.
Yeah, coming back in after using his knockback and having it on cooldown when Save had his flash out was a surefire way to die. He left Save an enormous window right there.
Save's like, don't try bringing that silly World of Warcraft hammer at me, man.
Well, Jin Air Cells will get an uncontested dragon, but that gold lead diminishing a little bit, and Jin Air, they have to focus on this siege right now, but the split push, it may be too late to stop the split.
It looks that way.
Yeah, here we go. They're
starting to group up.
Yep. Yeah, they're starting to group.
They know they need to have those team fights.
I don't know if Hoon should be going over here.
Well, he's going to try to save the turret, but he's not going to be able to do that at all. They do get turret for turret, but again, now shield just starting to look like that unstoppable force once more. Plants taking a few of the turret hits there. There's the explosive cast just trying to get them away. Turret takes a lot of damage, though.
Yeah, good disengage from the Gragas there. They do trade 1 for 1, but I'm not sure that was exactly worth it, because having that middle tower up while your opponent's is down is a pretty strong linchpin really in the middle of the map, a safe haven, and gives you that much more map pressure. And trading it for a side tower, not totally worth, especially when Save can just go ahead and farm up this lane as he inches closer to his Blade of the Ruined King.
Jace may want to power slam, but Save wants to tower slam.
He has been tower slamming.
Tower slam.
All right, here we go. Here's the 5-man siege that we desperately wanted to see this entire game so far. This is really the moment of the truth for the Stealths. They have to take turrets and make clean rotations here in order to properly use their team comms, but Jax menacingly coming around the side. And when you have this squishy siege line, its main weakness is in the flank. And there's that gap closer flank that Jax has, and he can rip apart anybody pretty much on this team right now. Gorilla also coming out, clearing out those wards, because you only feel safe in this situation with the siege comp, with a poke comp, if your flanks are warded. And you get really uncomfortable if there's a mystery champion waiting in the wings. So that said, good decision making by Shield right there to send Gorilla around the side to deal with those wards with his Oracle. Now they see Save in the bottom lane, relentlessly pushing these turrets, and this is where it gets exciting, Noah. This is where I love League of Legends, where you see these two strategies and who is going to win out in this situation.
Yeah, we've got the big 5-man mid push, but somebody's going to need to deal with Jax eventually here. Can they get the turret before they need to go back? I don't know.
This is really a game of chicken.
Yeah. Who's going to flinch first and send their team back?
Save is making some pretty strong headway through these towers, and the mid turret still hasn't gone down. The defense and wave clear from NaJin White Shield has been enough so far. It's still only at a little less than 50%.
Well, the wave clear is really good. They do have that scary stuff. Oh, they get Nofe. Nofe does have to flash, uses that Dark Flight to get out of there, but Jax already on the inhibitor turret. They need to do something about this.
He's popped his ultimate to tank just a little bit better right there. He pulls out. Is he going to keep going through this? He's pushing the minion wave.
Oh! Desire ultimate, here we go! They're going in. Ice Bear knocked in the middle of everything. A double kill already for Goong, but it looks like Shield's going to get engaged onto Hoon in the middle of everything. Does take out Nofe as well. No, actually Mystic getting that one. A fight one, sort of. It was 2v2, but they don't get the inhibitor turret. And Jax, Save, gets the inhibitor.
And that actually could have gone flawlessly, but Goong still getting all in right here. Will he survive? No, he goes down, but the inhibitor is down. Will they trade inhib for inhib?
How fast can Save buy home guard boots? That's the question here.
Pretty fast, but it's not going to be fast enough. He may be able to take down one person right here. Here's zipping in.
Yep. Well, they
Wow.
do go inhibitor for inhibitor. That was insane.
It actually could have gone much better for the Jin Air Stealths. What happened in that team fight actually was that they didn't coordinate the Amumu and Gragas ult very well. In fact, the Gragas ult knocked everyone out before Mumu could.
Oh man!
Before Mumu could hit R, so basically he hit R too late. Let's take a look at that again. Yeah, here we go. Mumu gets the charm in, and actually that charm, that's what caused it. Actually, was the charm tying him up. It looked like he was going in, but he was actually still stunned as the bandage shots hit him in. So Hoon thought that he was going to be able to hit that R in advance. So that was actually not really a miscommunication, but just visual effects messing up Hoon's timing right there, because he anticipated that the bandage toss meant that Amumu wasn't stunned. But one of those things where if you get charmed in the middle of an animation, you still are unable to cast your abilities.
Yep. Very true. And now the Jin Air Stealth's trying to push back along that bot lane. They've got to push up quite significantly considering their inhibitor is down. And oh, no fade. Gets spotted. It's a dangerous moment for both teams. It's a really close game too.
Yeah, this situation though is actually an advantage for the Jin Air Stealths, because with their strong siege, they're going to be able to push to siege the super minion lane very easily.
Yeah.
Whereas on the other side of that, NaJin Shield is going to constantly have to send someone back to deal with the super minions, and they're going to be a lot less able to push against it. So trading inhibitor for inhibitor when you have the kind of composition that the Jin Air Stealths has is actually hugely advantageous.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, NaJin Shield really needs to push this back. They do it. Meanwhile, the other lanes, one of them obviously going in favor of the Jin Air Stealths at mid lane, but the top lane, pretty even up on both sides right now, although a big minion wave building for the Stealths as well.
And that they've actually neutralized the split pushing threat by doing this, because Jax isn't able to put on map pressure. He's only trying to save his Nexus turrets right now.
Yep.
The downside to this is that Jax is going to get a lot of gold if they don't take turrets.
It's going to be extremely scary. There's the flash. Curse of the Sad Mummy onto Goong. They get him right away. Nice. Nice engage, nice snipe onto the mid laner. They're going to get the tier 2 turret out of it as well. Very nice. Ooh, Gorilla getting poked out quite heavily as well.
Yeah, this game should be in the bag right now for the Jin Air Stealths. They have too much of a strategic advantage with the style of composition that they have at the moment.
Yep.
They're actually backing off right here. Mumu quite low after that dive. And got to turn that into a dragon. Now, NaJin Shield knows, however, that there's no vision from the Jin Air Stealths on that Baron, so they could try and do something a little cute right here in terms of the Baron steal.
Looks like they might be thinking about it. Yeah, they're really thinking about it. They're going over.
Well, they know there's no vision right there. They know they just backed off. This is actually a very good play call from NaJin Shield.
Yeah. And they should be able to get this Baron without too much trouble. You got to think the Stealths are starting to suspect something right now, though.
They're not going to get there in time, though.
Yep, that's right. Baron falling too fast. No Fei a bit low. Gorilla trying to zone on the outside. Uses that ultimate for the zone. They might need that in the team fight if they get it. Oh, Shock Blast comes in. Do they get it? No, Baron goes to NaJin Shield, but now the fight has occurred. No Fei coming in. Everyone's just going to disengage. Looks like it's not going to be, I don't know.
No, very nice disengage right there. They used the Jax Leap Strike and the Arcane Shift to get out. No Fei just going to try and escape if he can, running all over the map. This is buying them a lot of time, though, because they need that inhibitor come up, because NaJin Shield does have that advantage when both inhibitors are up. In terms of the split pushing, No Fei just has to commit suicide.
The funny thing is, I don't even think he can do that, because he probably has his.
Nice.
I think he's got his passive though.
No. His passive already.
Oh, was? Oh, okay. Oh, well, no, it's too late. Oh well. Moon grabs another kill. Did buy them a lot of time though. But that is a 40-second death time.
Look at this save. Trying to shove his super minion lane as much as possible, because he knows that he needs to shove this lane, because this is the lane they're going to siege.
Yeah, and he might be able to catch Mumu here too. We'll see. There's a Counter-Strike coming in. I think Mumu is a little bit too far up. Oh, the zoom in for dramatic effect. There's the ultimate. He actually gets away.
Had to use the ult, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had that up, but that's just going to delay things a lot longer because they have to have that ultimate up if they're going to dive.
Just want to replay of that. Once again.
Gorilla got a little too excited there with his abilities and nearly cost it for his team. And look at this, they see the burst right here, nearly taking it out. Preemptive smite, luckily Save was there to launch that one. Really close there. A little bit of a sloppy Baron finish from NaJin Shield. That could have been a lot cleaner. They got antsy because they saw the Gragas, and they know that he can deal so much damage to overpower that smite.
Oh, yeah. Well, I feel like we've kind of gone back to relatively even footing here in this game. Baron buff for NaJin Shield. They do have their lanes pushed up once again. The split push has recommenced, I suppose.
That's right. With the inhibitors back up, the balance of power in terms of team composition is now swung back into the favor of NaJin Shield.
Yeah, what a great game.
This is a fantastic game.
Great series in general, too. All right, here comes Goong. Dashing back into the fray. And it looks like everybody on the Jin Stealth is kind of coming down to try to deal with this Jax split push. They need to do something about it. Save. Backing off a little bit.
Fantastic vision control from the Stealths as well. They have to maintain this in order to use their poke composition and prevent picks from Ahri, because Ahri is a massive danger in their own jungle, because 4 out of their 5 members will pretty much be 100-0'd here.
Yeah. All right, there we go. So Save has the lane pushed up to that inhibitor again. Be able to clear it easily with Hoon.
Yeah,
Barrel a little bit out of position.
Now, they need Jax just to kind of stay at the edge of vision. You can see he pops down a ward right there to see who's coming. They're trying to set up a pick here. They're not trying to get the inhibitor. They just want to be scary inside of the jungle and keep the minion wave slowly pushing into that bot lane.
Oh man, it's such a volatile situation right now.
Yeah, this is a powder keg.
Yeah. And this next fight could definitely decide the game.
Yeah, nice use of Ezreal ult right there. This is a very deliberate push. All of the waves are pushing in the favor of NaJin Shield right now.
Yep. And now it's just a matter of time. Can the Jin Stealth get the engage they need to have that 5v5 team fight?
Yeah, there's a massive wave piling up in that top lane as we can see.
They really need to deal with that.
They need to not take so many quirky rockets is what they need.
Yeah, that's true too. Oh, here we go. They're coming in. Nice ultimate from Mumu, and the explosive cast pushes everyone away. Not quite the explosive cast they were looking for from Hoon, but it does enough damage. They actually do push Shield back.
Yeah,
Siege has been broken to a certain extent.
The mistake there was actually that last shock blast, because if they hadn't taken that one ability caused them to be so chunked that they could no longer stick around. Because after the Amumu ult is down, you can pretty much all in as long as you have HP.
Yeah.
But getting hit by that one shock blast will buy the Jin Stealths a little more time.
Yep. A little bit of vulnerability though if Hoon stays in that top lane too long. Shield could make a pretty strong case for pushing in the middle lane here. We'll see. Yeah, they're just charging right down the middle lane as fast as they possibly can. They need to make something happen.
Goong needs well, we'll see. He has a choice here if he wants to go to a little more survivability or actually just go pure damage, which is another option considering his situation if they're going to create a pick.
I feel like if we're talking about Goong, we're going to see pure damage.
That's the name of the game so far, that's for sure.
Yep. All right. Oh, no wraiths. Now he's a really sad mummy.
Well, the split pushing starting in this top lane right now. Save opting instead to try and take down one of the last remaining tier 2 turrets here.
Yeah. He should be able to put enough pressure on there anyway, and they're going to get another dragon out of it too. So again, catching up that gold, they've almost caught up completely, but we're at that point where both teams have near their full builds anyway. Yeah, there we go, dragon taken. And that's actually going to, okay, so never mind. I thought that was going to maybe allow Save to push a little bit more aggressively, but Hoon, still there.
What NaJin Shield really needs right now, again, is more definitive control over that south side jungle. If they had bought a few more wards and gotten total control over it last time around, they could have created a very scary situation where guaranteed the Jin Stealths would have lost that second mid turret or their inhibitor. But they didn't play that out as well as they could have. And Save probably shouldn't be in this top lane right now.
Yeah, they might need him down in the bottom fairly soon here.
They need to clear. They need to create picks because they're not. There's no way they're going to get into the base in a 5v5. The siege from the Jin Air comp is just way too strong.
Yeah.
And they need a power play scenario in order to make this actually work.
Well, they did bring the 2v1 against Save, so that does create a bit of a mismatch in the bot lane. But again, those Corky rockets just so effective at poking things down and clearing waves. Need to be a little bit careful though. And here we go, Ice Bear coming in. Up on his friend. Oh, they actually get the sun. Oh, he takes the lantern out just in time, and Gorilla with another slightly mistimed ultimate.
That was a really nice coordination between Mystic and Ice Bear, though, to make that happen, because he managed to chunk them enough that he forced another recall while successfully escaping and drawing out the Zyra ultimate. Great coordination there.
Now they know they can put more attention on this top lane and Save push a little bit farther back. So far, though, I mean, the lanes still are pushed. This does still let Shield put pressure on the Jin Air stealths anyway. Baron is up again.
Nove really needs to sell one of his Doran's Blades and start buying more wards. This is kind of silly at this point.
Come on, Nove, be a team player.
Yeah, they are so dependent on creating a pick at this point in time, and it could be quite easy for them, but they're not. Especially, I'm particularly surprised given how many wards they bought last game.
Yeah, it's a good point.
That we're not seeing the same level of dedication to that vision control in this second match of this series.
And here come the Jin Air stealths. Save actually recalling right now. No cancels his recall, knows there might be some action by the Baron pit. He needs to be involved.
Yeah, just pushing up again in this mid lane. I mean, this is all about that vision right now, and Jin Air stealth certainly taking the upper hand in that regard. And oh no, okay.
Oh boy. Oh no, he gets hit with the death sentence right at the end. There's a passive, and he's going to lose a lot more than that. There's a pick that NaJin Shield wanted, but instead Jin Air stealth's got.
Imagine, if you will.
Imagine if he had wards.
If he had wards instead of that Doran's Blade.
Yep. Oh, Mumu gets charmed. All right, well, here we go. This is it. The moment of truth for NaJin Shield. And that big hit taken out of Gorilla is not going to help them at all. Save coming in the long way. Yeah, they're going to lose this inhibitor, even though we can't see the hit points on it. You know they're going down right now. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, actually, this got all the way pushed up, surprisingly.
And that actually, they know that that inhibitor was pushing, and you saw that kind of off-kilter true shot barrage. That was to prevent recalls because they see what's going on right there, and they're hoping the minion wave can take it down.
Oh, they're going for Baron, actually. They want to take a Baron on the way out. This is a bit of a risky move. They're going to lose the inhibitor for this.
Oh, this is actually really important. Can this Jax do enough damage right here?
Well, Atrox is not there. He just
dies.
Wound! They absolutely light him up. And now Mumu comes in with the ultimate. In the meantime, Jax on the outside, Safe. Leap striking back over the top. Coming in onto Mystic now, but it's not enough. Save dead. Everybody else really low health. And a strong push coming up.
Well, it's 4v3, though, in favor of NaJin Shield. Gorilla, well, 3v3 Gorilla had his passive up, but look at this. A ton of caster minions just lighting up this inhibitor, or this Nexus turret, rather.
Oh, Mystic gets slowed down. They're not going to allow him to go back. They're going to make X-Bear deal with this by themselves, and Save has plenty of time to come back to life right now. You know, they did have Baron, but they lost a lot of it on a lot of key members.
Well, this is certainly a wild game, though.
This is crazy, man. Such a close game.
Now, Hoon has that Zhonya's Hourglass, so he can probably avoid that fate that he just suffered at the hands of Goong.
Yeah.
But Save completes his GA as well, and that is a huge pickup here on this late-game hyper-carry Jax.
Yep, absolutely. That Nexus turret took about half of its health and damage.
Yeah, disappointingly, Save hasn't been able to do a whole lot in these team fights. He's been hit by a lot of exhausts coming in.
Yep.
Ice Bear really been on top of him, so he doesn't have anywhere near as much gold as he could have, having only 1 kill and 0 assists so far.
Yeah.
This is some smart flanking. Again, this is how you beat one of these siege teams. You come in on the flank and get into their back line immediately.
Yep. Gotta come from from behind. And oh no, they actually catch Mumu. He uses his ultimate, but it's not going to help too much. Hoon coming in a bit late there.
Now that's the dive pressure entirely gone.
Yep.
Good little pick right there. Cute moves from NaJin Shield.
Yeah, they needed to. They needed that pick so bad to stay in the game.
But that's how they have to play it. Goon coming in with the home guard boots now. They need to all in this. They can all in this.
Yeah, they can. With the 5v4, they have that advantage. They have.
There's
Save
no
coming in from
tank.
the side. Here we go, Save. Oh boy. Any second now.
I mean, I know the Baron buff's there, but they're still playing a little too reluctantly.
Zephyr a bit low on health.
Well, if they stand there, they're going to get poked. That's the fact of the situation. If they take advantage of the...
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Here we go. Okay. They're coming in now, starting to put some damage onto that inhibitor turret. Nope coming in. There's a Dark Flight. Nice knockup onto Hoon. There's the box, though. Actually, they popped the pass for Aatrox right away, and that is not the engage that they were looking for. Goodbye, Nope. A double kill for Hoon. Oh, man.
That was extremely ill-advised.
Yeah.
They didn't even wait for the entire team to get there. They didn't even really have an opening.
That's going to cost them the game, too.
It may well.
I think it's very likely. They're going to lose their second inhibitor here. The middle one is not up yet. Yeah. Got a bad feeling about this one for NaJin Shield.
Yeah, it's unlikely at this point that they are going to be able to stop this siege.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty valiant effort and a truly exciting game.
Yeah. They're going to try it. The poke is just too high. There goes Nexus turret number 1, very low. Can't quite get it yet. Man, those rockets. The rockets from Mystic have just been dead on every single time.
Yeah, well, this is the slow poking death coming in, unless we can see NaJin White Shield pull out something pretty impressive right here, but they don't.
Poking.
With the Amumu back, the counter engage is just going to be too strong, and they can poke forever.
Pretty much.
With the minion wave pushing that far in the top lane, though, they may not be able to close it out quite yet. Because they're going to have to tank that top turret if they want to, or they're just going to have to... I mean, with all the home guard boots, like, there's actually not a lot they can do in terms of taking the Nexus.
Oh, Goon very low. What a crazy game. It's back to that 5v5 once again. All the ultimates are up at the moment. They may engage pretty soon here. Mystic taking some shots.
Yeah, nice spread out, too, by NaJin White Shield and a big arc in order to minimize the poke.
Very important. Don't want to get hit by that Curse of the Sad Mummy either. Ooh. Close death sentence. If they grab Nope, that's not a good situation. For NaJin Shield. Here we go, the inhibitor getting lower.
Such a tense situation.
I know. Just waiting for something to happen here. They're advancing into the base. Oh, Gorilla nearly dead. That's going to be the cue. That's going to be it. They're going to go in. There goes the inhibitor. Oh, they actually grab Save. It's not the person you want to grab. They're going to have to back off there. Save very low. He's going to go all the way back. That's going to cost him the inhibitor, I think.
Yeah, finally it will go down.
Yeah,
sending all the members back. NaJin Shield taking this opportunity to get everybody back up in terms of health. Save coming back out. And here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, they're coming in. Mystic really low. They get him right away. Save gets that kill, and it's looking good for Shield so far. Mumu not very effective in his own. Trace forced out right away. A huge fight for NaJin Shield. Double kill for Save. There it is. Zephyr with a perfect ace.
Oh, can they actually close this out right now? There is the question. The inhibitor's back up in the bottom lane.
They got to rush.
They
got to just
are
run for
running for it right now.
They got about a minute.
They don't have a minion wave, though, and so it's all about how fast they can actually kill this Nexus. A great turnaround based on the strength of the home guard boots.
Still 40 seconds left for most of the members of the Jin Air Stealth. Here we go. This would be a heartbreaking loss for them. Save coming in. He's going to kill that inhibitor so fast and pave the way for possibly the end of the game in favor of NaJin Shield. Gorilla actually went back. Can they do it? Can they close it out? Save is all the take they need. The Nexus turret's going down low. Mystic, 10 seconds left.
Oh, he can't.
Save is so low. Oh man, they just need to focus the Nexus. They can't fight. They need to focus it. Can they do it? The Nexus getting focused. It's going down. They've got it. And NaJin Shield comes back with an incredible
win
duo.
right there from NaJin Shield. A complete reversal in the last few seconds of the game.
Wow, that was one of the greatest comebacks I have ever seen. Man, not since CJ Blaze, I think it was at one time.
That was truly epic. We're taking a look at it right now. Mystic actually messed that up. He got caught out in front. Goom took a beautiful opportunity, and Save followed up to catch him and deal all of the damage they needed without Mystic.
Let's watch that team fight.
Yeah,
Absolutely
look at this.
incredible.
Mystic gets caught out and then immediately hit by the DFG and chunked down right there. Save going to follow it up with a flash leap strike to guarantee the kill. He then turns on to Hoon. Trace is left all by his lonesome, but Nope with his passive up, able to survive the blast.
Yep.
And then Hoon uses the Zonius, but that just buys Save more time in order to get the cooldown on his leap strike back up. Mumu just goes ahead and ults one member. A sloppy team fight from the Stels. Save takes him out, and look at this. Zeppa's going to flash forward right here, and then Arcane shift for the final kill. And then such great decision making. Aatrox immediately goes back to the fountain with the home guards, and in spite of a hard-fought game from the Jin Air Stealth, NaJin Shield against all odds will take it 2-0.
I can't believe it. I thought for sure 100% we were going for that game 3, but nope. NaJin Shield apparently had other plans.